Okay, so I haven't made a video in a while, probably because no one watches these, but I was bored and I finally got around to beating a game that's actually somewhat relevant. So it's gonna be a review of Red Dead Redemption. I'll get down to it. It's essentially a third-person open-world shooter. If you played GTA 4, it's pretty much exactly the same game, gameplay-wise, plus some extra things like the controls are almost exactly the same. The only difference is Deadeye mode, which I guess I'll explain now. Like, it basically, since it's a third-person shooter and it's always from the third-person perspective, you hold left trigger to aim, like, center things and aim better. And then if you click the thumbstick in, it slows down time, and you use the right bumper to mark up spots on the body that you want to shoot, and then when you hit the right trigger, it acts out. It's essentially a bullet time, what you see in a lot of games these days. It's nothing new, nothing special. There's like nothing that unique with the gameplay. It's pretty much everything we've seen before, but it's still a really well-made game. It's completely mission-based in the sense that GTA was, which you have your world map, and then there are different markers on the map. You go there, you see a short cutscene, explain the context of the mission, and from there on out, you just do the missions, and then you unlock more people to do missions for until the end of the game. So in that respect, it's pretty much still exactly like Grand Theft Auto 4, which I'm probably making most comparisons to because of the fact that it's just a reskinned version of that game. I mean, I can make comparisons about it all day. I might make a few more in this game. As for the world size, I'd say, it's good enough size. Like, it's not overly large, but it's not too small. Like, I never really found any issues with it. It doesn't take that long to get from one side of the world map to the other, but at the same time, you don't feel confined. It's a very well-crafted world. It took me about 14 hours to complete, and that was without any of the side quests. Like, I did like a few here or there, but other than that, that was basically like, it gives you a percentage of the game you've completed. I had like about 64% complete the game, and it took me 14 hours to do that, and that was basically mostly the main quest. That is significantly shorter to GTA, which took me about 30 hours to complete, but I think in terms of side quests, this game has a lot more to offer, as you can do lots of side quests in the game. There's stranger missions, there's also random people you come in contact with too, and there's a bunch of side mini games, other things. Like, so it will take you a decent amount of time to try and 100% complete the game. So if you love a lot of side stuff to do in a game, then that would be good for you. I guess I'm going to start with some spoilers now. Like, I'm going into the story. The story is well made. Essentially, the main character used to be an outlaw. Now he's being hired by the government to go and kill some of the people he worked with. So, and they have his family held captive. So if he doesn't do that, they're going to kill them. So that's his only option. So the first part of the game basically deals with you trying to kill one of the first guys who is holed up in this fort. So you spend the whole time trying to get the information and help you needed to take on the fort. And after that, it goes to Mexico, which is the other half of the world map, which in my opinion is the best part of the game. Like, the missions kind of get a little bit, like, there's nothing like super unique about each mission. It's generally go here and do this, but they're still fun to play through. Like, it's still a really enjoyable game to play, despite the fact that, like, the stories at that point is basically like, oh, if you do this for me, I'll give you information, and it's just kind of that recycled for a while, but it's still fun to play. And then the third part of the game is, like, when you're closing in on the last guy you need to kill, and then you defeat him. And this is where it kind of has, like, an awkward pacing. It leads up to this climax where you defeat the one last guy you need to, and then it just goes back to the farm. And then you're going back to these really boring farm missions that you had to do in the very beginning of the game, which was essentially herd cattle, and wrangle horses, like really boring things that you don't really want to do. That's what kind of played the beginning of the game with like very boring missions. And then after you get to the climax, it does that, and you're like, well, did I beat the game already? Is there more to do? Like, I don't want to do these rancher missions because they're really boring. But then the last mission you do is, I guess this is the biggest spoiler. If you don't want to find out, stop the video now if you already hadn't. I said there were spoilers before. The main character gets like attacked by the military because they decide they don't want to leave him alive. I know they're a bunch of douchebags. And essentially, you go out of your way, like they come and attack you at your farm, you find them all off, and then you send your son and wife away. And then they come back, like, and then you're like in this bar, and then you open up the door, and it goes into the slow-mo mode, and you try and kill as many people as possible, but as far as I know, it's impossible to do this. You end up having the main character get shot up, and you die. But if you're worried now that you won't be able to do free roam after it, you still can. Like, your son comes back and sees the body, and then it skips to you being buried, and then after that, there's another, like, time skip, and it shows your son when he's, like, a lot older, and it's him at your grave, and the main character's wife's grave, and then you control your kid for the free roam part, and it's essentially the same thing, just kind of with a different character, and it's kind of hard to figure out, but apparently there's another secret mission you can do after this, which you go to Blackwater, and it's a stranger quest, and revenge, and killing the one guy that betrayed you and had the government kill you. And then that's when the credits roll and the game's over, like, officially, like, where all the main story's gone. And that's still, like, it takes about 14 hours to do. It has a satisfying ending. You're like, I feel satisfied at the end. Like, at first I was kind of on and off about the game for a while, because it had boring parts and good parts, but when I beat it, I felt satisfied. I don't want to have this video run on too long, because, you know, who wants to watch a YouTube video of some kid for like 8 minutes explaining a game? The last part I'm going to explain is graphics and sound. In terms of graphics, it's on par with, you know, most modern day games with an open world. It's nothing special, nothing like really new, but there are a lot of graphical glitches. Like, I've had people in cutscenes not appear, like floating dynamite just walking around, which didn't make any sense in this cutscene. People walking through horses. There's a lot of graphical glitches in the game, and the game froze on me once, but that wasn't that big of a deal. And sound-wise, the music is, well, like, you notice it. It's nothing special. Like, it kind of repeats the same, like, background ambience track over and over again, and the voice acting is really good. Like, it's not bad. Overall, I would probably give this game 8.5 out of 10. Lengthy story with a lot of side quests, and not much. I haven't tried out the multiplayer. I'm not going to go into that, but from what I hear, it's basically you have your deathmatch modes, your capture the flag mode, and then a free roam, which is the entire world with friends, and you can up to 16 people and doing like fort raids and stuff like that, and other side quests, which I haven't gotten into yet. I might get around to it, but that's not factored in to this review. So judging entirely single player, I'd probably give it an 8.5 out of 10. It's nothing new or nothing you haven't seen before, but it's still a really fun game to play.